Folks, before you start the episode, would you like a free case of premium craft beers? Well, we've partnered with Beer 52. They are offering you a free case of 8 unique beers you won't find anywhere else. Beer 52 are the UK's #1 beer club. Every month they visit a different place and expertly curate a case of exclusive beers from the region's best breweries. Your free case will include an eclectic selection of beers from the world's best beer countries, including the UK, Germany and the USA.
If you want to take advantage of this great offer from myself and Tom at Boxing 365 and our new friends at Beer 52, then make sure to use the QR code on screen or the link in the description, and for just the cost of some delivery, you can get yourself a free crate of premium craft beers. Enjoy the rest of the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to Boxing 365 for the latest episode of the next card in the deck. This one is Arnold Barboza Jr versus Kenneth Sims Jr. It's going to be on March 14th, courtesy of Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions at the Honda Center in California. Just before we get into that though, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe, comment, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. And as you've just heard, we are partnered with Beer 52. This is the same beer from the last episode that we just finished recording, so we will be finishing this one. If you haven't watched that episode, this is the Tropical Unicorn Session IPA. It's very nice. It was going down a little bit too quickly, so we had to take a quick break. If you want your free crate of beer, use the link in the description.
That's right. That beer is absolutely free.
But we'll get straight into the card. So, Barboza Jr., Kenneth Sims Jr. I've just said to you, I think it's criminal that this is at the top of the card, really, isn't it?
If we're going to be really honest and
God, go on.
All I'm going to say...
I know what you're going to say.
What?
Is that Collazo's not that big of a name. He's a
massive name for us.
Yeah, but he's at minimum weight and it's not a fashionable division.
Lower weights and female boxing for Oscar De La Hoya. General rule of thumb, he doesn't do it because commercially it makes more sense to have Arnold Barboza. I don't think it's right. Me personally, I think it should be Fundora.
Yeah. Fundora, Collazo.
And then probably Arnold Barboza versus Kenneth Sims. Because let's be honest, Arnold Barboza's not a big name.
I don't think so, really.
And Kenneth Sims Jr.'s never beat anyone even at my level.
Yeah, I think the thing is...
At least I've never suffered a loss. Loser.
I think the thing is with Barboza Jr., you have got to look and give him a bit of respect for some of the names.
You can say put some respect on his name if you want. It's just a little bit cringy.
No, I'm not saying that. I think you just got to give a bit of respect for who he has beaten. Jack Catterall, who you didn't love and who you thought Echo Esman was going to beat him, but you're a Mong. So, Jose Ramirez, Sean McComb, who again, actually, I don't really think Arnold Barboza won that fight against Sean McComb.
No, he didn't. So, he lost that fight.
So I don't really feel like that's probably fair to say. Jose Pedraza, Antonio Moran.
There's some others.
So
he's got
a decent little resume of fighters, really.
100%. Yeah. But we weren't talking about him as that. We were just saying that from a main event point of view, if we're being honest, that's the reason he's the main event. However, from a boxing fan's point of view, we believe, product placement at its finest, we believe that Gabriela Fundora should be main event. However, her opponents. So at the same time, you go, but look, we'll talk through it. Let's start with the actual main event, all right? Stop protesting.
That's what I was doing. I just said about all his wins. That's what I did.
Arnold Barboza Jr.
Yeah, he's it is at welterweight.
Yep.
Which I think it's his first time at welterweight.
Yep.
Previously, he was a interim world champion at super lightweight.
WBL.
Yep. And then lost to Teofimo.
Correct.
No shame in that. And although Teofimo Lopez has just been sort of schooled by Shakur Stevenson.
No shame in that.
I don't think that is a reflection of, it's not a suggestion that he's poor. I think it's just more fuel to the fire that Shakur's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So lost at a high level to somebody like Teofimo Lopez. Good wins over other good fighters who were, in and around it. If you looked at his resume, you'd think,
he's good. He's good.
Top guy.
And he's proven against the people he's beaten that he is, whether or not he's a big name or not, he's proven that he's in and around that world class level. I would say he's world class. The problem is Teofimo schooled him, but Teofimo is elite, and Shakur schooled Teofimo because Teofimo isn't Teofimo's elite, Shakur's special. So I don't think that's a fair reflection, like you say, or indication of the level that Barboza fights at. I think Barboza's win over someone like a Jack Catterall, for example, probably gives a fairer reflection of where he's at.
Yeah.
I get the impression that before talking about Sims, I get the impression that this is a fight to see how he gets on at welterweight. Because he said in a couple of articles that if the right fight comes up at super light, he'll be back down to the 140-pound division for the big fights. Now, the reason I think that may happen, if I'm honest, is if you look at his record at the lower weight classes, he's good. Don't get me wrong, his fundamentals are brilliant and he's a very, very, very technically gifted boxer. But he's not a puncher. He lacks that power. And as you go through the weight classes, it becomes more apparent because people don't respect that power and people start to walk through you. I don't think that'll happen here. But if his power didn't carry much at super light and lightweight and the weights below,
it's not likely to.
It's very rare you see it. It's very rare someone goes up in weight and gets more powerful, unless you're at like Cruiser, for example, and then obviously Lawrence Okoli is an example.
Yeah.
You're boiling down, you remove some of that. But at the middle to lower weight classes, very rarely you see a fighter go up in weight and get more explosive. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it's a bit of a trial at the weight. Sims is a decent opponent, got a good winning record, has beaten people.
Yeah.
But Sims has come unstuck at a couple of higher levels as he's tried to step through it.
I mean, he's coming off a loss to Oscar Duarte, who again we talked about in a previous recording, and said that realistically he was probably not going to be enough of a challenge for someone like Richardson Hitchens, who he should have been fighting. Obviously, it didn't happen. So again, sort of gives you an indication, perhaps, of the levels of Sims Jr. as well. Fairly close fight, majority decision. But yeah, I tend to think that what you would probably find here is exactly as you said. It's a bit of a feeling out for Barboza Jr. Is he going to be okay at that weight against somebody who's also, from what I can tell, Sims Jr. is not ordinarily at welterweight. So
I think this is only his second. I think.
So it's not really. Yeah.
It's more to see how Barboza gets on more than actually what Sims offers. So Sims watched a few of his fights, watched the Duarte fight. He's good. He's good. And again, it's not my place to sit here and criticise. Fights at angles. He's got good footwork. Defensively quite clever. Uses things like shoulder rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But unless you're an elite fighter like a Floyd Mayweather, that shoulder roll's a hard thing to pull off. So he's defensively very good. But I don't think it will take long for Barboza to work him out. Barboza's very slow, methodical.
Yeah.
And I just think he'll pick him apart. I don't think Barboza will stop Sims. I don't think he's powerful enough, but I think he'll pick him apart. He'll keep him at distance. I don't think Sims will be able to land. And to be honest, for the boxing purist, it actually makes for an interesting watch. But again, weirdly, it won't be my fight of the night because the 2 fights below it, the 3 fights below it, are by far more exciting.
I think so as well.
Which is why, on that note, I'm done talking about it.
Good. I'm also done talking about it. Barboza Jr. will probably be the winner.
Yeah, 100%. 99%.
Oscar Collazo and Jesus Haro.
Oscar Collazo needs to move up in weight. Not too high. I was going to say to welterweight. Needs to move up in weight to light fly. And he needs to get one of the bigger names in and around that weight class. The problem is the depth of talent at minimum weight is near enough zero. He's so powerful pound for pound. He is relentless. He's probably the best pound for pound body puncher on the planet, definitely in them lower weight classes.
Yeah.
he's just too good for everyone at minimum weight. And look, I'm not disputing that he would probably be too good for people at light fly, but I think if you're that good, move through it.
Yeah.
Move through the weight, pick up your world titles until you start to get to fly and super fly, and then you start to get to the names where you start to make your money. No disrespect, but he's the unified champion at minimum weight, holds 3 of the belts. And I'd say that no one listening to this has got much a clue
Yeah.
who he is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I think it's one of those where, like you say, realistically, if he's gonna, I mean, this will be a good night for him, but you sort of think it would make sense if he finds himself done at that weight and go, nah, there's no point me sticking around here. There's plenty of, obviously we know that the lower weight classes aren't quite as fashionable with casual fans, but that they're growing in popularity.
Yeah, 100%.
He could move into some of those divisions. I mean, obviously there's some dangerous fighters down there as well. But yeah, why not? Why not move through the weights? A little bit. I know we've had this discussion before about proportionally those weight jumps are still quite the difference for
Yeah.
smaller fighters, but it is achievable. He will be able to to build his frame a little bit, and try and progress into maybe as I don't think you really would want to be going any higher than like a super fly.
He's
Realistically, he's
he's not
5'2". He's not.
he's not built for it yet.
No.
I think you've got into that sort of super fly into your bantamweight division. I mean, bantamweight would be too high because I'm not being funny, but you look at someone like Junto Nakatani.
Yeah.
Like for me, just size alone, Collazo's not going to build into that. Even someone like a Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bam's special. Don't get me wrong, but you look at the people around him coming off of the win against. It's gone completely Puma.
Mm,
Um, these are big guys at them weight classes. So I think for me, like you've said, and I think you hit the nail on the head. I think he's a flyweight. But you pick up titles at light fly, fly and super fly, plus the minimum weight title. You're a 4-weight world champion.
yeah. Yeah.
And you go around and you can probably hop between a few of them. So you haven't got to sort of stick to one weight class.
Yeah.
And just go make the biggest fights. You're super talented. Go make the big fights. I put a name down and it hasn't escaped me, but I don't know if I'm right. Is it
Yeah.
Cordova?
Sergio Cordova.
He's 27-0. He's Mexican. He's got 23 knockouts. He's a light flyweight, and he's a world champion. That is a mega fight.
Yeah.
For the lower weight classes. Mega fight.
Yeah. There's definitely plenty he can do. I mean, he's got to get through Jesus Haro first,
It's
which
it's
I think it's
it's
probably
routine.
it does feel quite written on the
Yeah,
wall that that'll be the case. Haro's not at this, not proven at this level,
no.
particularly. Was a WBC youth champion, but he has picked up some losses as well. And I think, yeah, you tend to think with the quality that Oscar Collazo has, it should be a routine enough night.
Yeah,
Maybe with
absolutely.
just a view to the big fights coming up in 2026. And
Hopefully.
you probably, like you say, I do imagine that he'll look at this fight and then think, right, probably think about moving on. But he might want to, you know,
I
wanna
can't
do
see
more in the division.
I can't see
Do
this fight going past 5 or 6 rounds.
you not think?
No, I don't think so. I think this guy's at his depth.
Yeah, he is. Collazo is solid
Oh,
body
phenomenal.
puncher, isn't he? And
Yeah.
yeah,
I think Collazo will just walk him down, throw them 3, 4, 5 punch combinations, work the body,
yeah,
and I just don't perceive that this kid's going to be good enough. It's more about if he's tough enough to survive, whether that for me more than if he's going to actually win the fight.
yeah,
Which again it sounds harsh, but it's the reality of it. And I think unfortunately,
yeah, yeah. I think we're pretty conclusive there that we probably believe Oscar
Collazo's going to pick up
Collazo is
that first loss.
going to be
Yeah,
through. And moving on to, I think what we both agree should be the main event for
yeah,
this fight.
100%.
In our little minds, again, we appreciate the politics.
Yeah.
That's probably not the case, but you've got Gabriela Fundora, who is undisputed flyweight champion, against Viviana Ruiz Corredor.
So I so 17-0 Fundora,
Yep,
9 knockouts.
9 knockouts.
phenomenal.
She's got to be top 3 pound for pound fighters, women on the planet, surely.
I thought about this earlier. I went top 5, and the only reason being, I don't think you can't not give Katie Taylor number 1 still.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's tough, isn't it? Because
you can't disagree with that. As she's still active, she's still fighting.
Yeah. But what I was going to say was there are quite a lot of undisputed.
Ellie Scottney.
I
wouldn't say Ellie Scottney comes above Fundora for me though.
We've got Ellie Scottney. You've got Clarissa Shields. And
Clarissa Shields. See, I don't like.
No, I don't like her, but
I don't rate her that highly. I think since she's put pounds on, she's become an heavyweight, and that's not me fat shaming. Before everyone
it sounded like it.
I'm just saying, I just don't think she's as good as a heavyweight. But you have got some really, really talented fighters. But she's definitely top 5 for me. But you got to look at people like Michaela Meyer. You've got Alicia Baumgardner. You've got Caroline Dubois. You know, there's Amanda Serrano's still very much in that talk. Shanika Johnson. You've got Dina Thorsland.
Yeah.
But I think she's definitely, if I did the full ranking properly, I think she's 100% for me. I'd find a place for her in that top 5, even if it's fifth. She's missing that elite name.
Yeah.
And I feel disrespectful. Her opponent is tough, but again, this is one of them where I think Fundora's just. I think it's a given.
Yeah. We'll see.
So I think this is probably more about what next for Fundora for me.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It feels that way. And perhaps being undisputed at the weight probably means that maybe should be looking to move up, move into a new division, maybe try toppling one of the champions there.
Well, I did some research on this because I put that for me, she needs to look at moving to bantam, which would indicate fighting either Dina Thorsland or Shanika Johnson. Obviously, Dina's a big name. Shanika obviously holds all the belts. But the thing with that is they've got the Superfly division, and again, no disrespect to these girls, but there's no one in there that I'd be worried about. So for me,
skip it.
No, just go through it. Go in, pick up a belt, and I know it's a tick box exercise, but why not? Because people are going to remember that. Become a 2-weight world champion, add to your commercial value, go and beat whoever. And this again is just probably should have wrote the name down and thought about it. Whoever the number 1 in that division is, who's perceived as the number 1, I think it's a Mexican girl. Go in, beat her, hopefully, fingers crossed, and then go into a Shanika Johnson and say, right, all the belts, all the marbles, and then chase them names, prove that. Because the thing is, it's all fine and well, right? You can beat the most talented fighter on the planet, and we've seen it. You can beat the most talented fighter on the planet, but you will not have respect from the casual audience, which is the ones that pay the bills, bear in mind, because you think boxing every week, right? The boxing gets turned on. What percentage do you think are genuine boxing fans, like purists? 20%?
Don't know. It depends what fight you're watching, doesn't it?
You make a good point.
Because let's be honest, I don't know, what have we just had? Cooper and Constantine Urso. It's like, realistically, there's probably no casual fan, or not very many casual fans signing into that. But when you're talking about who's paying Tyson Fury, AJ, Usyk, who's paying their bills, it's the casual fans.
And this way, Sebastian.
Sorry.
Sebastian Fundora is a Fundora, in clarity. Gabriela Fundora, for me, she needs to add to that commercial value. And look, and whether we like it or not, and I hate the term casual fans. It feels like it's derogatory. But the casuals, okay, or the less invested boxing fans, when someone says to them, "Oh, do you want to watch Gabriela Fundora? Oh, what's she? Oh, she's a world champion. Oh, she's a 3-weight world champion. She's a 4-weight world champion." Suddenly, you've got an immediate gravitas, and I just think she needs that. Because unfortunately, women's boxing doesn't still hold the same natural pull as male boxing.
Yeah, not at the minute.
We was at Leewood, Warrington, me and Ben, not last week, week before, and there was a couple of guys behind me, and Sandy Ryan came out in a really good fight, probably fight of the night. I think we spoke about it. And less than a round in, they went, "The fuck's the point in women's boxing? This is shit." I was like, "You're a minute in." And it's out of all the card, it's been it was the best fight. And at no point did they change their mind. At no point they went, "Fucking hell, this is a banger." Because immediately they've got an absolute perception that, it's women's boxing. it's going to be boring. They can't punch. Fine. There's not as many knockouts, but it's faster paced. There's normally more punches thrown. Like
it was that fight was brilliant.
Brilliant fight, and respect to both girls. But anyway, that fight happened. She needs the big fights. Shanika Johnson, for me, is the fight to make. That's it.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything there. Do you think she's going to win?
Fundora? Yes, absolutely.
She's brilliant.
I'd be very surprised there was an upset there. She's very, very. That was one of those fights where if you said she lost, I'd be like,
whoa,
you're joking me, what happened? You know, like, how did that happen? But, yeah.
She's one of them fighters that's got everything. Not that I want to carry on talking about her, because we have other things to talk about, but a bit like a Bam Rodriguez and an Inoue. She's a pressure fighter.
Yeah.
Now, most people go, pressure. Slugger? No. She's a pressure fighter, but it's really calculated.
Yeah.
She's got her and her brother have got such unusually unorthodox long bodies for their weight classes. She's got this amazing long jab. She's a southpaw. Like,
everything you want to see. Like you say,
brilliant,
everything
honestly.
calculated, not really much wasted energy, not really many wasted shots. And
but then she does
that's just lovely to watch in it.
But then she lets her combinations go, and she, again, similar to Collazo, she'll let a combination of 3, 4, 5 shots, and they all land.
That's what I'm saying. Everything is efficient.
Next fight on the card, by the way, before I pick my fight of the night, it's 100% this one, just because.
Do you think it's the best fight on the card? We have just said that you don't think it's necessarily going to be that competitive.
It's not going to be that competitive. The reason it's going to be, for me, the fight of the night, the girl in front of us is tough, and it means I'll get a nice amount of time to watch Fundora go to work.
Fair enough. Right, the final fight that we're going to talk about is Alexis Rocha and Jojo Diaz.
This could have a video on its own. Jojo Diaz is an absolutely phenomenal story in boxing, who unfortunately a lot of people say he's outstayed his welcome. I don't think that's necessarily a fair assessment, and I am not going to tell anyone they should retire, because I've never even fucking started.
Do you think we should do a fighter spotlight of Jojo Diaz maybe next month?
Yeah, I think we should. And do you know why? Because he deserves it. He's a world champion.
If you are still watching, you better be. We recently posted a fight spotlight to talk about Tyson Fury, just because there's a lot of news about him. There's a lot of stink around John Fury and stuff like that. So he was in our eye line, so that's who we decided to talk about. If there's somebody you'd like us to talk about next, please let us know in the comments. If you've got an idea, we will do a spotlight video on them, talk about their career and things like that. But if not, it's probably going to be Jojo Diaz.
I just think Jojo Diaz is one of them characters in boxing. He's been involved in 4 world title fights. 5, I think, if you count his WBC interim fight that he won.
I think that might be right.
Out of his 4 main world title fights, he only won 1, which, no shame, you're at world level. But you go down his record, and especially over the last 5 years or so, he's kind of proven that he's not quite there. He's taken so much damage, and he's probably still got one of the best chins in boxing. And Alexis Rocha has taken Jojo Diaz as a keep fit fight, ready for most likely you would assume the Curiel rematch, which just feels bizarre. Does that not feel odd to you? Like, it's an odd choice.
Yeah, I think so. I think especially when you consider the way that Alexis Rocha's career went, you're sort of thinking, it's going well.
Santalan.
And a draw, and you're like, which is disappointing, because I like him.
I still like him.
We liked him years and years and years ago.
Blair Cobbs.
Where the Blair Cobbs fight. But, yeah, it does feel odd. It feels like one of those, a bit of a poor decision, but maybe it overlooked there to go, yeah, we'll take that Jojo Diaz fight. It's like, right, is that right? But what I would say is, if you are confident in your ability, and if you are confident that you're going to go and win, why not pick someone like Jojo Diaz? Been beaten, there to be beaten. Why not? Why not go and add him to your resume and go, people like me and you then would go, you know, Alexis Rocha beat Jojo Diaz. That's a good name to have on your resume.
Yeah, it highlights your level.
Yeah.
The reason I say it is a poor choice is because Rocha's been in camp, got to that point of being ready for the fight. Curiel pulled out last minute through illness. Now, I don't know, because I've never done it, but again, they talk about the fact that once you get to that fight week, you time it perfectly, you then fall into a bit of a drop. So I worry if what sort of conditions Rocha going to be in, at what point in sort of camp life is he going to be. And the other reason is Jojo Diaz, because the way he fights, doesn't need the same sort of camp that everyone else will need. Because he's not necessarily one-dimensional, but he's a close-up pocket fighter. Really good from a volume point of view. He's got a good chin. He'll stand there and he'll trade with you. Now, I don't think that suits Rocha in a lot of respects. With regards to Jojo, coming off of a loss, no surprises with his record as it stands, against Regis Prograis, who everyone's saying is still a world-class fighter. He's fighting Conor Benn. I don't think Regis is particularly at world level anymore. I think he's probably seen his better days. But Jojo had him hurt 3-4 times to the point that Regis had to cling on. Like, he had Junaid Boston legs.
Yeah.
So I just think you've got a big fight to make in Curiel. I appreciate Rocha needs the activity. I just think last minute as well to throw it on a card. I just think I want to see great fights, and this will be a banger. Every fight Jojo's in is a banger. I just worry that I just worry the type of fight that this is being added to the card as, which is just a keep warm fight for Alexis Rocha.
Yeah.
Just seems like a crazy opponent, but it's a great fight, and I'm absolutely thrilled to watch it.
Yeah. Tend to agree. I think it will be exciting, and it's one way go. There's enough intrigue because Roche is good enough to beat him, but Jojo
100%.
Diaz is solid enough that
he could beat him.
He could sort of cause another unfortunate loss for Alexis Rocha. So.
I do think Rocha wins purely on fitness at this point, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Do you think, before we move on to the sort of the usual questions, do you think Alexis Rocha can win a world title?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It depends what he's taken away from his losses, is what I would say for that.
That's a good answer.
I think before those, my answer would have been yes.
Yeah.
He thought he was set for one.
Yeah.
I think now, I mean, the thing to bear in mind is the division.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Not really a great one to be in. In terms of picking up a title, I mean, but also, yeah, if he has taken away from those losses the right lessons, then potentially, yeah. I think it depends how the rest of the division sort of plays out.
His best chance for world title in that division as it stands would be. So who have you got? Lewis Crocker.
Yeah.
Which is IBF.
Yeah.
WBC's Ryan Garcia. WBO Devin Haney.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I'm sure Devin Haney's 147.
Can't remember.
But anyway, my point is that it's a tough division, and he would have
best
to
chance
be.
Probably Lewis Crocker.
I can't say that.
I'm just saying, I think that probably would be his best opportunity.
I think he beats Lewis Crocker.
I don't really know.
It's
I like
a tough
Crocker,
fight, that, you know.
but I feel like we've seen that Crocker looked like he was coming unstuck in that first Paddy Donovan fight.
There's a blueprint there, isn't there?
There is a way to beat him, but then in the second one, obviously, not so much.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
I think Rocha wins this fight.
Yeah, I would probably agree. Right, so we'll quickly blast through the winners. So Barboza and Kenneth Sims Jr.
Barboza.
Yep. Collazo and Haro.
Collazo stoppage.
Yep. Fundora and Corredor.
Fundora points.
And Alexis Rocha and Jojo Diaz.
I'm going to change my prediction. No, I think Rocha will. I think Rocha will win. But I think it'll be points. I had him originally. I thought he might stop him, but I don't think he will.
Okay. Well,
fight of the night. I've already told you.
Fight of the night's going to be Gabriela Fundora then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
Sound. What did RoboFace say?
RoboCop, Rate the Robot, thinks that Barboza will win by decision, Collazo will win by stoppage, Fundora will win by stoppage, Rocha will win by decision. So,
yeah.
We agree.
I'm happy with that. I think it's a good card of boxing. Do you know what makes it up? What do you rate this card? It's a hard card to score, I think.
I think on the 4 fights that we know that are on there, I would give this one probably an 8. Genuinely.
You think this is as good a card as the Island card?
I think this is, if you're talking
actually.
about the quality of fighters on it, I think this is a better card.
Yeah, you're probably
which is why I said I think the Irish card was 7 and this is an 8.
I disagree with you.
Why?
There's better names individually, but they're in worse fights.
That's probably fair. Yeah, that's probably fair.
But I do think an 8's probably fair.
Yeah, I think you've got to respect the fact that you've got an undisputed world champion in the women's boxing and a unified world champion in men's boxing. Not the most fashionable division, and not the we know that female boxing's not quite got as much of a pull as men's boxing. But for me, and I'm not saying that a casual will necessarily enjoy it in the same way, but for us, I would say, yeah, an 8. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And on that,
and that is everything. So. The beer's lovely. Make sure to get yourself a free crate on Tom and Dan. That's probably gonna break some sort of rule on YouTube and get this video removed. But make sure to get yourself a free beer. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. We're trying to grow. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is brilliant.
So happy when I get
there. And we will look forward to speaking to you on the next episode.
See you soon, guys.